Let's begin by finding a comfortable seat, either cross-legged or on a cushion, however your body feels most supported today. We'll gently close your eyes if that's available, or soften your gaze, whatever feels safe and grounding for you. Bring your attention to your breath now. No need to change anything. Just notice. Feeling your sit bones deeply rooted into the ground beneath you. We'll begin to let our shoulders soften. When you're ready, we'll start by rolling the shoulders up, back, and down. Smooth, in smooth, slow circles. Feel free to breathe deeply or sigh it out. Taking a few more just like that. Just bringing our attention to our breath here as we move gently on the ground, and bring your right hand up and over, lengthening the side body. Your exhale returns you back down to center, and we'll do that once more. Right hand reaches up and over, breathing into the space of your ribs. And then we'll take it to the other side. Right hand on the ground. Inhale, left hand up and over. Stretching the side body. And then exhale, release. One more time. Left hand reaches up. And over. Keeping our heart nice and open, feeling that gentle stretch in the side body and in the ribs. Exhale, slowly coming back to center. Now we're going to slowly shift into tabletop position. Once you're ready, we're going to spread our fingertips out wide, our wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And on the inhale, we're going to arch the spine, lift the chest and tailbone into cow pose. And then on the exhale, we're going to round the back, vertebrae by vertebrae, tucking chin and tailbone, coming into cat pose. Moving with your own rhythm. We'll do 2 more rounds. Inhale, gently opening, lifting the chest and tailbone. And then exhale, we curl inward, slowly tucking chin and tailbone. Then one more, just moving at your own pace here. And taking your time, just feeling into this pose. Just making any observations here. Then we'll come back to neutral. And then on the inhale, we'll open up the right arm up and over as if we're spreading our wing open. And then the exhale is going to thread the left arm in between the space of the shoulder. And we'll bring our head down to our mat, and we're going to rest here for a few breaths. Just let your body melt into the support of the earth beneath you. And then we're going to slowly press into the left hand and make our way back to tabletop. Just taking our time coming back to tabletop. And then we're going to inhale, open the left arm. Once more, we're going to open up the left arm and spread our arm up wide as if it's a wing that we're opening up. And then we're going to exhale, thread our arm through the space in between the opposite arm and bring our head down gently to rest on the mat. Just taking a moment to adjust our arm to find any comfort and support here as we breathe into this space, into this shape. Just taking a moment to send our breath into any areas that might feel tight or tender. Then we're going to make our way back into tabletop position once more. And then we're going to gently begin to tuck our toes, press our hands, and send your hips back into downward facing dog. Begin to pedal out the feet, alternating our heels, bending one knee and then the other, like you're walking your dog. Taking your time here, no rush. Then when you're ready, we're going to inhale, lift the left leg up high, bending the knee, opening up that hip. Maybe then we begin to create a circle with the knee. And then on the next exhale, we're going to step the foot gently between the space and between the hands. And then we're going to check in with our foundation here. Then coming into runner's lunge. We shift back, maybe forward, just stretching it out here. Then bringing the knee down to our mat. Inhale, lift both hands up overhead. Breathe here. Then exhale, open up your arms into cactus arms for a nice back bend here. Elbows wide, heart is open. Inhale, slowly hands reach back up. And then exhale, we'll bring the hands back down to the mat. Now we're going to tuck the toes, lift the knee, and we're going to gently begin to shift into our warrior one. So we're going to keep our front knee bent, back heel grounded, and then our arms are going to come up overhead, finding our center, our strength here. Breathe. Maybe find a smile, and then we're going to shift into warrior two, opening the arms, extending them on each side, finding our strong foundation, making sure that our knee has a nice bend in it and our foot is planted on the back foot is planted parallel to the edge of our yoga mat. Just checking in with our alignment here, making any adjustments as needed. Then when you're ready, we're going to shift. Take the right arm up to the sky. Shift the hips back. We're going to come to our reverse warrior. And then we're going to make our way back down, cartwheeling the hands, bending the knee, cartwheeling the hands back down to the mat. And we will meet in plank pose here, kicking the foot back. Just finding our center in plank for a second here, breathing into this pose. Connecting to our strength once more. Then when you're ready, we're going to press into the hands and send the hips up and back into downward facing dog once more. Inhale, exhale, let it go, sigh it out. Then we're going to inhale, lift the right leg up, taking a gentle bend in the knee, opening up the hip, and then maybe making circles with the hip as we breathe. And maybe making bigger circles here. Just playing around a little bit here, massaging our hip. Then we'll re-extend the leg out long and then step the foot forward between your hands. When you're ready, just finding any gentle stretch here in our runner's lunge. Maybe stretching the back toes or shifting our weight forward and backward. Just checking in with our foundation. And then whenever you're ready here, we're going to gently lower the knee down onto the mat, planting the back of our foot down. We shift the hips back and then bring the hands up overhead into crescent moon. And then while we're here, Maybe we begin to spread the fingertips wide, breathing, maybe gently rolling the wrists in one direction. And then maybe rotating in the opposite direction. And then on our next exhale, we're going to bring the hands back down. We're going to tuck the toes, lift the back knee, then make our way into Warrior One. Inhale, bringing the arms up overhead. And then on our next exhale, we're going to gently open up into Warrior Two, bending the knee, bringing the arms out at each side. Just breathing, checking in here, taking notes. And when you're ready, we're going to reverse our warrior, bringing our left hand up overhead and the right hand at the side of our leg. And then bend the knee, exhale, cartwheel the hands back down to the mat. Here we're going to step back and meet into plank. Taking our time, just allowing ourselves to arrive however we get there. Maybe stretching out the calves and the toes here once we make our way into plank by shifting our weight forward and backward, if that feels good. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to gently lower down into Chaturanga, lowering down onto the belly, planting our feet, and then pushing up on our inhale into upward facing dog or cobra. And while we're in cobra, there's an option here if you'd like to take some gentle neck circles. Breathing into any areas that might feel tight. And then as you exhale, we're going to gently press back into tabletop position. And we're going to take our knees as wide as our yoga mat here and push our hips back. And we're going to rest into child's pose here. We'll take a few deep grounding breaths here. Just remembering that you are supported here by the earth beneath you, and that you can access this very restorative, nourishing pose anytime you need. Just breathing. This is a beautiful surrendering pose. And then we're going to make our way back to downward dog. Taking your time getting there, breathing, and then slowly walking the feet up toward the hands, bending the knees. Moving any props out of our way here. Just giving ourselves some space. Then when you're ready, we're going to inhale, lift up halfway. The spine is long. And then on our exhale, we're going to fold in half, coming back down to Utkatasana, forward fold. And then inhale, we're going to lift halfway once more, bringing the hands to the shins. And then once more, exhaling, folding down. This time, maybe we play here with grabbing opposite elbows. And while we're here, maybe swaying from side to side, just finding any movement here that feels good to your body. And then on our next inhale, we're going to slowly rise all the way up, vertebrae by vertebrae, bringing our hands up overhead. And then we're going to exhale, bring our hands together at the heart. Taking a moment to check in here. How do I feel? And then on our next inhale, arms rise up overhead. And then exhale, forward fold, coming back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Once more, hands to the shins. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, slowly rise back up once more. And then exhale, back down into forward fold, let it go. And on our next inhale, we're going to rise back up, slowly taking our time, bringing the hands up overhead. And then we're going to exhale, bending our knees. Sitting back into chair pose. And once we arrive here in chair pose, just checking in with our breath. Inhale, bringing the hands out in front of us. And then on the exhale, we're going to gently twist over to the right, bringing the left elbow toward the right knee. Keeping our hands into prayer position here. And on our next inhale, we're going to make our way back to center. And then exhale, twist to the left side. Hands in prayer position, twisting over to the left side. And then coming back, inhaling, coming back to center. And then exhale, twisting back on the right side once more. Hands at prayer position. Breathe. And then on your next inhale, we'll return back to our neutral chair. Bringing the hands out in front of us, sending the hips back and down. And then exhale, forward fold. Keeping a gentle bend in the knees here. Just explore your forward fold. Maybe just letting yourself hang. Maybe walk the fingertips forward and back. Inhale lifts, hands to the shins. We come halfway up. And then exhale, forward fold, back down. And we'll hang out here in forward fold for a few breath cycles. Just exploring. Then on your next inhale, we're going to slowly rise all the way back up, bringing our hands up, overhead into prayer position. Bringing the hands to the heart. Pause. Feel your breath. Feel your body. Notice anything that might be coming up. Maybe invite a gentle smile. And then whenever you're ready, we are going to bring our hands back down and make our way into plank. Stepping one foot back and then the other, or however you choose to get there is great. And then just working out any kinks here when we arrive in plank. bending the toes and shifting our weight forward and backward. Just playing here. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to take our time and gently shift the weight forward into the shoulders and then come down into chaturanga. And then planting the feet, we're going to inhale, push up into upward dog. Just arriving here in our upward dog. Maybe shifting our shoulders back and creating space in the heart. And then on our next exhale, we're going to shift the hips back into downward dog once more. Just making our way into down dog, finding any movement here, shifting the legs, walking our dog. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to bring our right foot in between the space in between our hands, coming into our half pigeon. And you're welcome in this space to support your hip with a block or a blanket, tucking it under your hip if you'd like to. Just finding our half pigeon, checking in with the back leg, making sure that it's nice and straight in back of us. And then maybe we explore our way down. And you're also welcome to place a block underneath the forehead here, just kind of bringing the earth up to meet your forehead. We're going to take a deep breath here in pigeon pose, just resting, breathing, finding your variation, remembering that there is no need to feel any pain here or forcing the body into this shape. We can stay up or we can explore our way down. Whichever variation works for your body is great here. Just allow yourself to rest in this pose. And then we're going to slowly begin to curl the back toes under, pressing the hands into the ground. We're going to shift back into plank pose. Once again, landing in our plank, working out any kinks here. Bringing the left leg in the space between our hands, shifting the knee all the way to meet our left hand, slowly lowering back leg down. We're going to find our variation here on this side. Maybe opening up the shoulders here. Maybe we stay here in this variation. Just finding what works for your body on this side. Maybe noticing any differences on this side. Wherever you're at, just resting and breathing. Maybe taking one more breath here. And then we're going to gently make our way out of our half pigeon on this side by pressing our hands back into the mat. Slowly making our way back into our plank pose. Curling the toes under. Shifting the left foot back to meet the right. We'll land in plank once more. And then this time we're going to bring our knees down to our mat, opening them up wide as our yoga mat. Then shifting the hips back and down, we'll come into our child's pose. Forehead on the mat, or you can bring a block underneath the forehead here. Just resting into this sweet child's pose one more time. Connecting with our breath. Maybe softening any thoughts that might be coming into our mind at this moment. When you're ready, we'll slowly transition back to our seated position. Taking your time, scooting the sit bones down, centering yourself onto your yoga mat. Now we're going to take our feet out in front of us and bring the arms out at either side, palms facing inward, and then taking your time, vertebrae by vertebrae, you're going to lower down slowly, gently. Just taking your time, allowing yourself to connect with the core muscles, engage with those belly muscles as you lower down, making your way into Shavasana, our final resting pose. Relaxing the feet, finding a comfortable position for our hands, whether on the belly or on the ground. Just letting everything go here. Just remembering that you are enough just as you are. You are safe. Just allow your breath to return back to its natural cycle, natural rhythm. Stay in this resting pose as long as you'd like. Maybe pausing the video Taking one last breath together, inhale deeply and then exhale completely. Taking a moment to thank yourself for showing up for your practice today. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Have a beautiful rest of your day.